Hey, good morning. I want to talk to you about something that a lot of people don't care to hear about, but it needs to be brought up. Is tithes and offerings. If you belong to a local church, if you go to church, you're a church member, you need to tithe a tenth. It says in the Bible, there's many scriptures talks about tithing to the Lord. And, that some people say, well, that's just the church wanting money and they're just blah, blah, blah. Well, no, and yes. Some of your big evangelists on TV, they might come up and say, I need a new jet plane, or they're living in $1 million homes and driving fancy, $100,000 cars. Yeah, I can understand that. I see where you get the understanding on that. But these local churches, they need that money. And anyway, you're giving to the Lord. And if you give out of regret or give just because you think you have to give, then that's kind of not doing you any good. Lord says give and He'll multiply back, and it works. Trust me, I know. Um, but the churches, your local churches, they use that money for, like to pay the bills, maybe have to pay the pastor and some of the other workers in the church. They buy supplies for Sunday school and all that stuff, keep up grounds work maybe, use that money to help missionaries that they might be sponsoring. They have a benevolence fund usually to help people that say they can't pay their electric bill or their house payment or something. They'll come to the church, and the church, will help pay their stuff. That's what that money's for. That's what it's for. The Lord is what it's for. See, the money you have is not for you. It's the Lord's money. I mean, without the Lord, you have nothing. You think you get it all on your own, but you don't. What you have is because God allows you to have it. And usually, when you tithe and you're happy to tithe, and it's not like a grudge on you that you've got to tithe, but you happily give a 10% of your gross, not net, but 10% of your gross. Give God what's God, give Caesar what's Caesar. Jesus said that, give to Caesar what is Caesar, give to God what belongs to God. So you don't break it down and say, oh, I'll give him 10% of my net. No, you give him 10% off the top. In the book of Genesis, Cain and Abel, that's where basically offerings, tithes, and offerings started. God required to give the best of for the year, for your yearly blessing, was to give a sacrifice of the best of what you have. Well, Abel gave the best of his herd to the Lord, where Cain just gave a part that's not the best of his. I might go to part two.